If you want to move to Houston, Texas, it's impossible to find the perfect area. I am gonna save you so much time, stress, and energy by telling you a bunch of areas around Houston, Texas that you're gonna love to live, but most importantly, a bunch of areas that you can cross out. You will hate living there. So I'm gonna do the most extensive map tour of Houston, Texas. Not only that, I will break it down with actual footage of every single area. We will break down every city, suburb, master plan, community. You will know exactly what area will fit you. So get out the brewskis, get out the coffee, get out the notepad, get out the pen. This will be the only video you'll ever need. In fact, it's gonna be so long and detailed, I'm gonna have to break this video in half. But first, before I get going, I gotta go find my pen.
Meanwhile,
I know I put it somewhere. Where did I put that dang pen? Wit dog, what are you doing? Oh, that's it. You're out of here. All right, so my kids absolutely love drawing all over this, but here's the breakdown that you needed. Again, what we're really gonna be focusing on today's video is from Katy to Fulshire, Richmond, you got Sienna down here, Missouri City, and some of the southern areas. In fact, this map, we have shown so many videos, I was not able to compress it enough without losing a lot of the words. So I will break it down even deeper on the computer and with a lot of the actual footage of going on site. First and foremost, you have to know, this is the most important thing that I've learned moving to Houston and helping hundreds of clients, they say the same thing. You need to know your major roads, you're in and out, because everything is like 5 hours away. So with that being said, right here, this major line that I put across here, this is your I-10. This is gonna take you over to Louisiana, and this way is gonna go to San Antonio. Your other major roads, this is a new tollway right here that takes you into Fulshire, one of the hottest growing areas down here. And you've got Richmond, you've got Sugarland. So Sugarland is usually ranked right up there as the top place to live in Houston. And if you're looking at ISDs and school rankings, again, we're not allowed to steer in any way. If you read niche.com or realtor.com, they're always going to point right here for that Fort Bend ISD. So this area is blowing up. I always say it, if I didn't live up in the Kingwood area where I am at, I would choose Sienna. I think it is one of the coolest master plan communities I've ever been into. And they've also got some really cool areas around it. Plus, you've got the Friendswood, Pearland areas. We've done some videos down in this area. So now you have to realize, okay, where am I gonna be working? Where am I gonna be commuting? Where do I want my kids to go? Because I need to be close, right? So you have the 59. I know it says 69 here, but everybody's gonna call that the 59. And it's gonna take you right through here. This is free, but there is an expressway that you can take. So if you're really traveling a lot in and out of downtown, you can take that and skip a lot of that 59 traffic, which is kind of becoming hectic. And then it jogs up, you know, and goes this way. Your other major roads, 288. So that's gonna be a very popular one to take you straight south. And then you've also got the 45. So you've got Galveston down this way. We get a lot of energy workers, plant workers, you know, that are going to be working down the South Galveston areas. There's a lot and tons of new construction down south of League City here. We've been to a few of them, so that's where you're going to want to be looking. Again, you know, you have to realize when you look at just this 99 tollway right here, and it's not even completed, just what I drew, that section there is almost 190 miles. Isn't that insane? Now you look at the Beltway 8 here, you know, and just, I know from personal experience, if I want to get down to the Beltway and then over and maybe head out to Katy, you're talking an hour and a half maybe, you know. And when me and Joe shoot videos and we head to Sienna, it's an easy hour, 30-minute drive with no traffic. We're gonna leave when all the people have already gone to work at like 10 o'clock. So if you're trying to hit that in the mornings, you just can't do it. It would be brutal. So super imperative that you learn these major roads and areas. If you don't want to hate where you live, then you need to live close to wherever you're going to be commuting for work. And that's what this video is going to do. I'm going to break down all of these micro, you know, sections, cities, suburbs, and master plan communities all around this area. And it's going to take so long. That's why I'm going to really focus on this southern side. And then next video, we'll get into some of the most popular areas we're seeing, which is obviously you've got Cypress. Bridgeland is the largest master plan community. And one thing you're noticing is everything is going out to the west of the 99. So that is something that's really important. You need to get to know the 99 because basically all the newest master plan communities all along here. Just some of the most amazing places to live are going to be right on the 99. That's going to be your newest shopping centers, your newest HEBs, your newest movie theaters, your newest shopping centers, high schools, elementary schools, middle schools. It's all brand new areas, and these are some of the hottest places to live in all of Houston as everything starts to expand out. So really imperative that you know that and that you're living close to wherever you need to commute for work. Now, with that being said, we need to focus first on heading down the 45. We're going to look at the Friendswood Pearland area. There's actually a new section of master plan community that's down in this area that I want to show you real quick. But I won't lie, a lot of these areas are going to be basically already built out. There's not a lot of new things going on in here, but there's a couple that you must see. And then we're basically going to go over here to Sienna and work this whole section. This is like becoming one of the hottest areas for people to move, and there's about 50 master plan communities in there. We've been to most of them. We got to go check it out. So real quick, what I wanted to do is just pull up HAR. This is Houston Area Real Estate, and I have it just on new construction. And I wanted to just show what's going on. And as you actually look here, the Friendswood, the Pearland area, you're not going to see too many. And I get a lot of comments like, hey, what about Friendswood, Pearland? Amazing. I have a lot of friends who live in these areas. They love it. They've, born and raised, multiple generations. When they just don't leave that area. But there's not a lot of new things going on. So the first thing that you notice is when we zoom in a little bit closer, you do have some smaller pockets, but this is an area right here where you're noticing a big glob of homes. So what we have to do is break that down. It was right here where this forked off here. And if we look, this is where it says Lagoon Fest. This is currently the biggest lagoon in the state of Texas. So you have a massive lagoon here. This is called Lago Mar. We did a full vlog tour of this community here. So there was actually a lot of veterans were moving to this area. They had a lot of veteran benefits, the veteran hospitals, but you also have a lot of the people who, like I mentioned, are going to be working down in the plants, some of these big energy plants down here, the Galveston, because you're right next to it. New construction homes, great prices, but you do get that lagoon there and a lot of other, really cool things. They got restaurants and stuff right there, but that's why you see that massive growth there. Now, when we look over from Lago Mar, you're going to see the next big group, and you're actually going to see a lot of pendings in here. That's always a good sign that it's a hot area. So if we look, you got the Nolan Ryan Expressway. I mean, this Texas stuff is the coolest ever. You got a Nolan Ryan Expressway. So if we go to the map, that is Iowa Colony. If you recall, if you've been following us long enough, you see the Perry homes here, 7 and 8. This is Meridiana, however you want to pronounce it. This was a really cool master plan community that we went into and showed. We actually have some clients buying here right now. The other cool thing about this, what did I mention when we had the map up? You want to be by the 99. That's where all the new stuff is. That's where all the new HEBs and the new shopping, and it really just increases home values as more and more people want to be out there. And the rumor is that 99 is going to carve right through Iowa Colony, right through that area. So you're going to have all of these new shops and things to do, and you're going to be getting in early. So now the one thing that I loved about Meridiana, I was completely shocked when we went there, was they have not one but 2 community centers. In fact, one of the community centers has a giant lazy river with basketball courts in the pool. And that's where we first ran across the Dries homes, which are completely fully custom homes where you can, knock out walls, change bathrooms, and they had them for incredible prices. And they also had a great selection of homes in that $300,000 price range, as well as a lot of homes in that 80-foot, 90-foot lots that were really, really nice high end. So as you can see, if we zoom out, you're going to be very far south of downtown Houston, out here in kind of the country, right? So you can really stretch the budget when you come down here past the Manville areas and get into a Meridiana. And I have thought it was an awesome master plan community, probably one that many of you have never heard of or even thought about looking at. And the beautiful thing is you got the 288, so you are a quick jaunt right up into downtown Houston. That makes things so much easier for you on commuting. And then you also have Highway 6, so that's going to run you right down to Galveston, which is really convenient as well, or directly over to Sugarland. So you're butted up against Sienna, again, one of the top master plan communities in all of Houston, Texas. And it's just a great spot where I think you could get in early if you wanted to live in the south area of Houston. So what we're going to do next, and I hate putting it here, but we got to talk about it. I'd like to put it last, but it's Sienna. We're going to really start breaking down Richmond, Texas. We're going to break down Missouri City, Texas, obviously Sugarland, but then we're also going to be really focusing in on Fulshear. So again, when you're doing your initial searches of Houston, Texas, it's typically Katy, the Woodlands, maybe Conroe, Kingwood, some of these major areas that you've heard about, Sugarland, but you never get the insight of the smaller pockets. And if you do find something, typically on the internet, it's like a written blog from like a moving company, so they don't give you the feeling. So that's what I want you guys to know, is that I'm gonna tell you what it's like in these areas, and as you're seeing with all the B-roll being played, you get to see it with your own eyes. So the next area, like I mentioned, is Sienna. I love Sienna. I would choose this area. It's my top spot besides where I live. And the main reasons for it, as you come in here, and you're probably seeing from a lot of the drone footage, you've got the Camp Sienna here. So you got all your ballparks, your baseball fields, your soccer fields, your football fields. You even have a full equestrian center. When we were out there filming, there were horses running all around. It was really cool. So it's also built, and you have a golf club in there, and this means that, you know, you're gonna have all of your stuff already done. You don't have to wait. It's gonna, you know, cost you a little more to get into this area, but you're gonna immediately be in the community. You're gonna do all these functions. You're gonna meet people quickly, and I think moving to Houston, Texas, you're gonna be completely rejuvenated coming from somewhere else, and be forced to go out and do things that you may not have before because you've lived in the same area for a long time. So to be able to meet a lot of like-minded people and have fun, you got houses from multi-million dollar down to that entry point as well. So really a great mix, and they're building a ton of new homes in this area as well still. So Sienna Plantation, Camp Sienna, this whole area right here is just a really, really nice master plan community. Nothing wrong with it there. And you're gonna notice if we click on something like let's click on the high school here, it is actually in Missouri City. So it's not over in Sugarland technically, but you're gonna be in that Fort Bend ISD schools, which everybody loves. Now, if we cruise out, I want to just get our bearings again. This is Sienna right here. We're moving to the west. Sugarland is your main master plan community that you're going to be reading on all the blogs and hearing about. It's amazing, but nobody lives right here downtown Sugarland. I mean, you do have Lake Point right there, a couple of these closer ones, but this is a shopping center, which is kind of nice. And the good thing is this Highway 6 right here is filled with all your shops, your grocery stores. So really anywhere you live in here, you're going to be, you know, pretty well self-sustained with anything that you need. And I mean, you have Energy Stadium, and you have a lot of really big things going on down here in this southwest area. But if you are looking for Sugarland, like original Sugarland, high-end areas, you're probably going to want to look right away. You got the Sweetwater Country Club. That's a great bearing right here for you to look at. The other thing that you'll notice is when I go to the map view here of Sweetwater, you've got all the tennis courts and stuff, but a lot of these houses, this is one thing to note. If you're moving to Houston, Texas, and you're going brand new, to add the pool, you can do it in most of the master plan communities. It's going to cost you quite a bit extra, but hey, totally worth it. When you go to some of these like Sienna, some of these areas that are already established, these are super nice areas that are right next to downtown Sugarland area. You even got, you know, if you drop down here on the road, you're going to see some of these big homes on the lake, and you can find them for really good, you know, prices where you're on like a lake. But you'll notice in the backyard, when we just zoom out, most of these already have pools. So you'll see that in the Woodlands, you'll see that in Katy, you'll see that in Kingwood, you know, a lot of these areas that are already established. So we know that a lot of people move and relocating here, just like myself. You dream of, you know, having that bigger house and the pool. And so these are really awesome areas to find that. And that's going to put you the closest to really right down at the Sugarland. And then another one is Greatwood. You're going to read a lot about that when we went in there. Again, you're going to have a lot of golf courses in here. These are going to be already, you know, kind of developed and matured. But that's why we are seeing such rapid growth out to the west again, to areas like Richmond, Texas here. So now you have the 99 coming right in through here, and the Richmond areas, these whole sections in here to Fulshear are filling up with a lot of the new master plan communities, and they're going to be sandwiched right in by the 99. So a lot of times, again, when you read these blogs or you know, you listen to some of these people, they're just going to, you know, go over, hey, Sugarland's a great area, look at the schools, but they don't break it down. And so that's that's why it was so hard when my family and I moved here, is because we kind of, you know, pigeonholed ourselves into, well, we're just going to move out to Katy. So you drive to Katy and then you're like, well, there's nothing really cool out here. And now that I've lived here for a couple years and I've shot all these videos for you guys, I started noticing all the master plan communities around Katy and then down in the Fulsh areas, and they're way cooler than some of the older original areas. So, you know, you just got to know that when you reach out and you're like, hey, Joe, Jackson, you know, we love having this as an amenity. We need to be down close to Richmond as close as possible, or to Sugarland, but we, you know, don't want to be right there in those older areas. What are some of the master plan communities? And we'll break down 15 of them right here in this area that are brand new. And especially right now at the end of 2023, early 24, with all those builder incentives, it's really the best rate to go, instead of, you know, some of the 8% interest rates. You can get those bought down by the builders. So Sugarland, again, everybody wants Fort Bend ISD. So if you can get close to that, that's really going to, you know, bode well for your property values. And then, you know, your kiddos get those great schools. So we decided one day, hey, we really need to showcase Richmond. And so we were trying to find the perfect master plan community. You know, we pulled up to one and there was no houses for sale. And they're like, you know what, you need to head up to Harvest Green. That's where everything's going on. So we're like, all right, let's go check it out. So we cruise up to Harvest Green, which is this section right in here. So I want to zoom out real quick so you can see it. You have the 99, you have Pecan, not pecan. Don't say pecan, then they know you're not from Texas. So Pecan Grove, but it's going to be right in to the east of that, sandwiched right into the 99. Again, everything nice and new. And as you see here, you've got the Harvest Green, you know, farmstead field. So you got fishing lakes and stuff right there. You got a lot of the master plan community builders in here. So you got the Perry Homes. But if we actually select Harvest Green, the Johnson development, you're going to notice one thing. It's a farm community almost, right? So that's the vibe. When you're driving in there, you have all these grain silos. You've got, like, you know, fake cows and goats, but you do have really cool community centers. You got these really cool kind of parks that are out there. This one is really blowing up, and they have a huge section of new construction homes right there so that you can see a huge line of them. And this is where they have, you know, from 40-foot lots all the way up to those 70, 80 footers as well. And again, you're stretching that budget because you're not right in the Sugarland area. You're not right in Katy. You're kind of in between, and you're outside west of the 99. So people are just finding more and more value, you know, the farther they come out to the west here. And then to be close to those major suburbs, you're still going to have, you know, the job opportunities, or you're working from home. So it's really like, hey, I love that Fort Bend, you know, the Sugarland area. I got to be close to it. A place like Harvest Green is just like many of the others that you've probably never heard about that you would really enjoy. And there's a lot going on here with community centers and pools and workout facilities, everything that you would need. If you would, real quick, comment down below, what master plan community have we not shot a video on yet that you would love us to go into? There's 250 to 300 of these master plan communities. We're trying to get to all of them, but if I can start seeing in the comments some common areas that we haven't been into yet, I would love to. And please, the one thing that's really helping our videos to get out there to more and more people just like you is when you guys engage with these videos. So if you would take 1 second and hit that like button, please, that helps us. Now we're going to start getting a little bit more interesting here and head up into that Fulshear and the Katy area and break it down. As you can see, you have Katy, Texas here. Again, when we were moving to Houston for the second time years ago, that was the #1 spot on our list. We'd always heard about Katy, Texas, and we were like, that's exactly where we want to be because of the families and just how cool Cinco Ranch was and everything that we read. But when we drove out there, we were really disappointed. First of all, it took a long time to get out to Katy, and we knew we wanted to be up close, like northeast in the trees and the lakes and stuff, so it really put us a long ways away. But I have found, since now discovering some of these other areas, some incredible master plan communities, and I'm going to break down 4 of them that are not ones that you've heard before. So to start, we really have to focus on Fulshear. So I used to call this Fulshear, and I got just destroyed in the comments. Again, you have the West Park Tollway, so this is great. You know, now you can zip in and out of downtown. It can get you to the Beltway quick if you need to head up to the north. So with Fulshear, this is where we're seeing the majority of the growth. And even when you're heading west on I-10, you're going to start seeing billboards everywhere about, you know, Fulshear, about Jordan Ranch, about Cross Creek Ranch, about all these master plan communities. So we will finish this video south of I-10, and we will dip a little bit to the north because there are some Katy master plan communities just up here. And then on the next video, that's when we're gonna go crazy with some of the, you know, a lot of the master plan communities. This area up here is just blowing up, everything to the north. So what we would need to do right now is focus on a couple areas. So right away, affordability, if you're really looking to stretch that budget, have the master plan community be in the Katy ISD, all brand new schools and everything. It's gonna be right here at Jordan Ranch. So Jordan Ranch kind of goes like Harvest Green we mentioned a little bit earlier. When I went in there, they said they had the #1, you know, like kind of family amenity, which was a farm. Like you can actually grow vegetables. And they have a, you know, a farmer's market thing there that you can go buy lettuces and you know, fruits and vegetables and all that stuff. So it was actually kind of cool in that regard. They had some cool playgrounds, but I was kind of underwhelmed with it. And there's a lot of people that really enjoy it, but I think affordability, again, stretching that far out to the west, getting into an area like Jordan Ranch, it's become quite the hot spot. Now, just taking a quick peek on HAR, again, you will notice there's a lot of new construction in here, but there's a lot of pending. So it does, again, tell you that, you know, Jordan Ranch is an area that people are really liking. But just to look at kind of the affordability, you know, I mean, even in the, let's just pick $460,000 range, you get a 4-bed, 3-bath house, 2,300 square foot. So if you really, you know, go up, look at this, you know, modern, you've got a 5-bed, 4-bath under contract. You know, it says it's around that $700,000 range. So again, as you can see here, coming out to the west, Katy ISDs, these are going to be new schools out this way. You know, that's why people love coming out here. So the second area that I really want to talk about, in fact, I'll bring up the map. Here we are, just so you can see, is right off of I-10. This was Jordan Ranch. Now, if we go more towards the Fulshire, and I wanted to wait for this one, Cross Creek Ranch. Now, this is the one that I went into, and I was not underwhelmed. I was like overwhelmed. I couldn't believe how cool it was. And out of the majority of the videos that we have shot and done videos on, I got the most comments on this Cross Creek Ranch from the residents of Cross Creek Ranch, basically saying, yeah, our area is the shiz. We love it. Some of them might have said stay out because they love it so much, but I was shocked. They got restaurants there, and as you're seeing in the drone right now, the community center up on that mountain, they have the mountain there, they have a water slide that goes down into a giant pool, and they got all the you know, the courts and everything. And then what's really cool is, as you can see here on the map, there's just so much water around here. There were hiking trails everywhere, there were people everywhere. So as you can see, I mean, just how cool this is, and how many pools and how many community centers, it just really was shocking to me. So differently, you know, when you look down here, you will see that you'll have, you know, some higher price points in here. You still got great, you know, bang for the buck at 430, a newer house, you know, 4-bed, 3-bath, 2,000 square foot. So it was a little bit more pricey in here. They do got a good section, a lot of pendings as well. But, you know, you can really start stretching that up. But a 4-bed, 3-bath, 5,000 square foot home right there. Man, I almost just want to take a peek at this, but this is, you know, listed right now at 1.6. It's a lake lot. So this is a really, really big, nice home. I should go tour this one for y'all. That would be sick. But I just loved Cross Creek Ranch, and I think that was, you know, another one kind of like Sienna, where it's already built out, it's already there. The community's going to be tight, and you're going to meet a lot of people really quick that way. And I just really enjoy that with a master plan community. So now what I want to do is zoom out again, and I'm just going to give you a reference point because we're going to go up to the north of Katy. Again, we're going to avoid Cinco Ranch, not for any reason. It is amazing, but it's basically built out. We do have a lot of clients choosing it, but what I want to focus on is some of the surrounding areas. We've all heard of Cinco Ranch, and that was an area that we looked at heavily when we moved here. The ones that I want to talk about are just to the north here. So if we look at Katy right here, again, if you look at Katy on the map, I mean, or drive there, it's old. Like, there's nothing downtown Katy. So that was actually pretty shocking to me the first time I drove there. I'm like, whoa, there's actually nothing here. Katy, Texas is just master plan communities. But right here, I've got this one highlighted. This is Sunterra. It is actually, you know, part of Katy, Texas. This is one of the first videos we did about a year ago where we were really starting to notice that shift of like, wow, these builders have a lot of incentives. And man, when you come out to the west out here, you are stretching that budget. There was some cool houses, and I had you guys rank, you know, A, B, C, or D houses. We did Highlands homes, I think some Perry homes. So a lot of the top builders are out this way, but this is now going to have a lagoon. So in the drone footage you're seeing right now, they are actually constructing the lagoon. So this is going to be a master plan community that once all the schools are built, the lagoon is built, the equity and the prices of the houses is just going to explode, right? So that's what's cool about some of our clients getting in now. They're getting, you know, those low prices, getting the builders, you know, with Joe to help them to maybe buy down the interest rates or whatever, you know, all of that public marketing that the builders are putting out about interest rates and getting in before a lot of the schools and everything are built in. So Sunterra is one that I would put on your list if you're cool living out on the west side. So for me personally, the west side of Houston, it just doesn't do it for me. It's crazy because I love the trees. I want big trees. I want a lot of trees. I live up in the northeast. So anywhere in the northeast, you're going to get a lot of trees. In fact, we even got Lake Houston just right about a couple hundred yards over here. I can hear the boats half the time. And that's just what we enjoy. I come from the northwest, but I have learned by reading your guys' comments and talking to a lot of our clients that you don't want those trees. And I was like, how could you not want the trees? And they're like, well, I have terrible allergies, so I don't want to be battling with it. And I'm like, huh, that's true, because when I was in the northwest, I never even had allergy attacks, and now I moved here to Houston and there's like 15,000 count of pollen, and you basically look like a minion because of all of it that hits you, and it can really eat you up. So I do notice that. And then again, with all the master plan communities, everything being built out to the west, Katy areas, Katy ISDs, all that kind of stuff, I get it. But for me personally, just as you see, you know, on the drone footage, a lot of the parks, they're going to have those canvas sunshades because you just don't have trees out there. But really amazing builders. You know, the builders, this is probably between Katy and up here to Cypress, probably one of the most happening areas. You know, there's a lot of master plan communities up here more towards the north going. They're not as big because of the trees, a lot of the rivers and all that, but this whole section right here, I mean, you drive the 99, it is nothing but community, 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 community. So this is gonna be the spot. Like, you're never gonna have to leave here. You're gonna have everything you need. And so the next one that I wanna talk about, I'm gonna type it in so we know exactly, is the Ellison. So this is another one that I went into and showed you guys. And you're gonna have, you know, a lot of the new high schools and stuff. The Cypress school districts too, here on this side is right on the 99. But when we headed west here, we popped in Freeman Road, but this is the Ellison community. They got a ton of new houses. This place is massive, and they are building. They've already got, you know, a bunch of the grocery stores, they got massive Targets. This whole area right here, they're gonna build basically, you know, they're trying to emulate the woodlands areas, you know, all the shopping. So again, you're gonna get in early. Ellison has its own, you know, community centers with pools, tennis courts. They got cool basketball courts, but now you're gonna have all the shops and restaurants and bars and cool things to do right here. So you're going to start noticing this Ellison, and we are too, we're getting reach outs for it, is really starting to blow up. So tons and tons of new construction in here. So as you can see on here on HAR, I pulled it up. I mean, they're just building like crazy up here. Again, a lot of pendings. You got houses in the millions, all the way starting, you know, in the 300,000 range. So even 316 right here, you see you got a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,400 square foot, a 387. You know, you're getting almost more of like this taller, you know, house here, 3-bed, 3 full bath. And then again, you can see here in the $700,000 range, you get the 4-bed, 4 full bathrooms, 3,500 square foot, and actually a 10,000 square foot lot. So about double the size. So that's pretty cool to see out there. Again, it's another hot spot that people are moving to. All right, again, so just looking at the map here, we went to that, you know, Katy area. You got Fulshire and you've got Richmond, Sugarland. So Sugarland and Katy, these are the ones, I mean, they've already been developed for 15 to 20 years. So a lot, you're going to find great neighborhoods in there, but they're already going to be kind of built out, which works great for a lot of people. But as you can notice, you know, it's just this outward push. And this is where you're starting to see all the brand new stuff. And then a lot of those builder incentives is coming out to this west area. And then the 99 is going to continue on through, probably past or behind Sienna. I'd imagine it's going to go somewhere around here. And that's why we were seeing that growth to the south of, you know, 99 south of Sienna. So we will be doing a full tour of, you know, the northern section, and it's going to get even busier. It might even be 2 videos. It is very imperative that you start really doing the research in our videos of every area that we talked about. So this playlist right here, it says the greatest videos ever of Houston. We have poured thousands of hours shooting these videos, doing full tours so that you can see if you like them or not. So in the meantime, click this playlist, find the area that you're thinking about moving to, and watch those videos. And we are getting multiple phone calls every single day, and we absolutely love it. So make sure you're reaching out to the original Living in Houston, Texas team.